Hi, welcome to your practice. We're going to just move really slowly today. This is a good practice to do if you've been really busy and you've been moving quickly through life, maybe for a few days in a row, and you're starting to feel a little bit kind of frazzled and burnt out. This will be a good practice to just kind of ground you back again, slow you down, bring you back to your body, calm the nervous system. We're going to need a block, probably. If you don't have one, don't worry, but you will need a strap. I couldn't find my strap, so I just found something that I had lying around the house that I could use as a strap. So you can do the same. And we're just going to start lying down, constructive rest, legs bent, feet down. Just make it so your back can really relax. Make any little adjustments you need to so your back feels comfortable. Maybe you need to take a few of those. Just sighing breaths. Maybe you don't. And as you start to close your eyes, moving out of daily life and worries and goals and things to sort out, and moving just into your sacred space. It's this transition from kind of doing, participating in life, to just almost pulling back, and just leaning back into the ground, nowhere to go. Just noticing your breath and starting to deepen it, so breathing in and out through the nose and out through the nose, in through the nose, out through the nose, just your own pace. It doesn't have to match mine. And you're almost trying to make each side of the breath about 5 seconds long. And we're going to put one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart space. Just acknowledging self, accepting self exactly how you are today, and honouring this time you've given to yourself to practice, to feel better, to connect. And we're just going to release the hands back down alongside the body. We're going to just move into arch and flatten. So as you inhale, you can find a bit of a bigger arch of the lower back, which will be a bit of a bigger gap under the lower back, a bit more space. And then the flatten will do the opposite, so the lower back will flatten down. So as you inhale, you find an arch, and as you exhale, find flatten. And just keep that going. You can also look at it as like a clock face. So on your tailbone can be 12 o'clock. And then moving to 6 o'clock. Notice what it does to your head. You might feel that your head, as you arch, slides a little bit up the mat. And then as you flatten, slides a little bit down the mat. Or the opposite way even. As you inhale, it slides a little bit kind of down the mat, away, like towards the feet. And then as you exhale and flatten, it moves up the mat, kind of away from your body. We're going to draw the right knee in towards the chest and then continue that. So you're going to arch and flatten, but with that knee drawn in. And what you do is you let the leg move with the arch and with the breath. So as you inhale and arch, the knee moves a bit away. And then as you exhale and flatten, the knee moves in towards yourself. These can be really gentle, nice movements. It doesn't have to be really forced. You don't have to really feel a lot happening. And then next time your knee's drawn in towards your chest, you're going to straighten slowly your left leg out. Notice any tightness you might feel across the front of that left hip and the hip flexors. And just breathe down. All we have to do is just be with one breath at a time through this practice. Okay, we're going to start to bend that left knee again. Bring the left foot down. Grab your strap and put it under or around the bottom of that right foot, and then extend it up to the sky. And again, we're not pulling, tugging on the body, on the tissues. We're just finding a sense of ease. If you like, you can straighten out that left leg, but notice if that changes your back. Okay, for me, it starts to kind of lift the lower back and the right leg starts to move down a bit. So it's much more beneficial for me to keep that left leg bent. But some of you might be a bit more open in the backs of the legs than me, and you can definitely straighten that left leg out. Okay, we're going to just hold the strap with just the right hand and then draw the left knee into the chest and take both legs out to each side, opposite sides. We're not trying to get the one leg down. For example, sometimes I see people really trying to bring that right leg down to the floor. We're trying to just find balance in the pelvis, like an open, even balance on each side. Your left hand can just lightly rest onto that left knee if you like. Beautiful, and then we'll bring both back to center. Left knee down, right ankle over that left knee, and you can lose the strap. Figure 4, drawing that left knee in towards your chest. It doesn't have to come far. For some of you, you might keep it down. Okay, just listen to what feels right for your body. You might like, I'm rocking side to side a little bit. That feels really nice. It feels like it's kind of loosening. And then we'll bring the left foot down, bring the right leg crossing on top of the left. And press into your feet and just shuffle your bum an inch or two to the right. And then your legs over to the left, a little bit of a twist. Knees can definitely hover, or if you have a block and you prefer the knees to be supported, you can put the block under the knee. Just stay for a couple of your 5-second inhale and exhale breaths. And then head might turn back first, and then legs can come back up, unwrap, and then just windscreen wiper the legs, so bring the feet a bit wider apart so you've got space to windscreen wiper legs. And you might look one way and the other way, so look the opposite way to the knees with the head as well, so you're kind of windscreen wipering the head the opposite way to the knees. Okay, and then we're going to just do a few little arch and flattens in between doing the other side. So as you inhale, you arch. As you exhale, you flatten. Make it feel really good. Keep your awareness really in that sacrum area. Drawing your focus kind of out of mind, out of thought, and really into the body. And then drawing the left knee in, continue your arch and flatten. The knee gently moves away as you arch, and it gently moves towards chest as you flatten. But these can be really tiny movements, okay? It doesn't have to be really forced. I'm not trying to push as far as we can. And then next time that knee's drawn in, straighten your right leg out. And close your eyes. I invite you to just really feel in to the hips, what's happening. Can you invite softness with your awareness and your breath? And then we're going to get the strap. So you can bend your right knee again, bring your right foot down, and then put the strap around your left leg and lift it up towards the sky. And my leg likes to be a little bit bent, so you don't always have to have everything just completely straight. There's always can be a little bit of softness in the joints, especially knees. Even when I'm not reminding you to, those 5-second inhales and 5-second exhales, just keep that going in the background. You can draw your right knee in towards your chest and just hold the strap just with your left hand. Take the left leg out to the left, right leg out to the right. Right hand can just kind of gently rest. You're not pulling that right knee down, but a little bit of extra weight on it. And just be here for a moment. And bringing the legs back in. You might like to bend both. And we're going to bring the left ankle over the right knee for figure 4. You can draw the shape in towards yourself. Little bit of rocking if that feels good. If your chin really lifts up in this pose, then it's good to put a block or cushion under your head. I like to anyway, actually. My chin does tend to tilt a little bit. How nice. Just make it feel nice. Make your practice a gift. Okay, and then I'm going to come to a twist. So do get rid of that block first. Wrap the left knee on top of the right. Shuffle the bum a little bit over to the left. And then knees fall over to the right. And the head can look the opposite way to the knees. If this twist feels a little bit much for you, you can unbind the legs and just have the knees stacked and dropping to one side. You can make it a little bit softer if it feels too much. And then lifting back to center. I like to lift one knee at a time, so that might mean unbinding, or that will mean unbinding if you're binding. Okay, but just whatever way feels good to come back up. Back to arch and flatten. And this time into rolling bridge, so as you flatten, you can lift the bum just 1 inch off the floor. Lower it back down, find your arch, find your flatten, lift up 2 inches. So each time we lower back down with a flat back, find the arch, find flatten, lift back up an extra inch, so 3 inches next time. Lower down, find your arch. Flatten, lift with the flatten. Keep it going. Again, make it feel good, make it mindful. The only goal is to come home to yourself, to come home to present. To just be here with this movement, this stage of this movement. And then we're going to flatten the back and just bring both knees in towards the chest and just rock side to side. And then we're going to rock forward and back, just up to a seat, over and into a wide leg child's pose. I like to just have my hands stacked, one on top of the other, and your head can rest onto your hands. And let's just take a few moments just to enjoy child's pose. Its grounding effect, its calming effect. And then gently coming up onto all fours. Just going to move the spine through cat and cow a few times. So your inhale moves you into your cow, tail lifts, belly drops. And your exhale brings you into your cat. Round the back, push into the ground. And just move between the two. And then next time you're in your cat, tuck the toes, push back to your down dog. Disengage the neck, give the head a little bit of a shake. Maybe walk the legs out if you like. Anything that feels good, just to kind of stretch out, especially if this is your first downward dog of the day. How good is downward dog? It's always just one of my absolute favourites. Even though I've done it thousands of times, always feels different, always feels good. Let's bring the right knee forward to pigeon. So right knee just behind right wrist. And then you slide the left leg back behind you. And you're welcome to put your block under your right buttock if your right buttock's quite high up and it needs to be supported. It can feel nice to have something under there. And we're going to come down just a little bit to the left of the right leg on the arms, on the forearms. And you're welcome to stay here. If you want, you can come down further. You're welcome also, of course, to have your block under your head, or if you have a bolster nearby, you might just lie on that for a few breaths. A really nice place to stay with a bolster. And getting ready to come back up. And just remove the block from under your bum, if it's there. So we're going to just lean over now onto the right hip and just swing that left leg forward. Ready for Janu Shasana. So you've got your right leg just drawn in. I'm going to turn around actually so you can see better. Right leg drawn in to your left inner thigh. And just shuffle your buttocks so you feel nice and even on your sit bones. We're going to fold in between the legs rather than over the straight leg. So take an inhale. And then as you exhale, fold. Maintaining this length in your spine as you fold. So more often than not, I'll see a large majority of people in class doing this with the head really arching the neck. Can you just keep the neck in relationship with the rest of the spine? Those smooth breaths. And then coming back up. And we're going to do a little twist. So you're just going to bring that right knee up, the right foot down. And you're just going to draw the right sit bone back a bit from the left sit bone. And then that will automatically start to kind of turn you for your twist. And you can bring your right fingertips behind you Left hand can just kind of support that left leg. And you might look over your shoulder. Just fill your body with breath here a few times. Turning now back to the front. We're going to cross the legs just as a transition back to downward dog. I'm going to spin around because I'm going to show you the other side. We're getting ready for pigeon on the left. So the left knee moves forward behind the left wrist. Right leg slides back. Block can slot under the left buttock or not. You can also just have a space there. And we're going to lower down just a little bit to the right of that left leg. And just soften here for a few rounds of breath. Soften your brain. And then we're going to come back up onto the hands and sink your bum over to the left. So take the block away if there is one there, and then spin your right leg forward, Janu Shirshasana. It's important to shuffle, like alter your base. So if you feel uneven, move your buttocks a little bit so you're feeling grounded in your sit bones. And then take a big breath in and fold with your breath out in between the legs. One more breath. And then gently coming back up. Getting ready for our twist. So left foot down, left knee bent, left sit bone a little bit back of right sit bone. That automatically starts to turn you a bit easier into your twist. Left hand behind on your fingertips. You might look over your shoulder. So that little extra bit of twist in the neck. Not necessary though. Okay, you can choose to keep the neck more neutral. And see what feels good. Last breath moving through. And then turning back to the top. And we're going to bend both knees. And just slide your bum a little bit forward towards the feet so that you can then come to lie on your back. You might like to take a breath like that, and in through the nose and a sighing breath out through the mouth. Our practice is complete, the movement part at least, but if there's any last movement you want to do, whether it's a little bridge, if you feel like you really want to kind of bring everything back together, you can, just a little kind of squeeze of the glutes with the bum in the air, or you might like a few arch and flattens, or some other kind of twist, or any movement that feels necessary. And then finding your way into your final rest. You might like to straighten the legs out, or you might like to keep them bent. It's up to you. I'm going to just sit up just to talk you through it so I don't get too relaxed, but you stay lying down. And just allow this pause where you're not doing anything, you're not awaiting instruction. You're just simply being. Allowing your whole body to relax and switch off. It's not ready for action anymore. It's just in this space of surrender. And it's our responsibility to take the time to actually stop when life gets busy. Nobody's going to tell us to do it. Nobody knows better than ourselves when we need to do it. And nobody's going to constantly check in and make sure you're doing it. So this is your responsibility. This surrender, this letting go, this unraveling. Just bringing one hand to belly, one hand to heart. A little bit of loving touch towards yourself, loving energy towards yourself. You can start to deepen your breath under your hands. And then you can release your hands from your body and just start circling the hands, wrists, ankles, fingers, toes, a little bit of movement again. And if you feel like a full body stretch, feel free, arms overhead, point the toes. And then when you're ready to, just rolling onto one side of your body, right side if possible. And then gently pushing yourself up to a seated position to finish. Bringing your two hands together in front of your heart, just closing the eyes again briefly. before we transition back into our day. Just savouring this moment, this feeling a little bit longer. Thanks so much for joining me. Namaste.